The number 100 is kind of a big deal in many corners of the world. It's like the gold standard for perfection, being the champ, and just rocking it overall. So, guess what? Vivo seems to be on the same wavelength, because they've just rolled out their newest flagship, the vivo X100 Pro. It's like they're chasing the dream of the perfect smartphone. Let's break it down, and see how Vivo is aiming to hit that sweet spot associated with the number 100. Stepping back for a moment, let's talk about the evolution of the design in the Vivo X series. It's been quite the journey. The X70 kicked things off with a rectangular camera module, then the X80 brought in a circle within a rectangle. Fast forward to the X90, and we've got a slightly off-center circular module. Now, with the X100 Pro, we're right in the middle of it all, with a perfectly symmetrical circular module. It's like we've transitioned from rectangular vibes to a full-on circle, creating this sleek symmetry on the back. Well, almost perfect, considering the flashlight's rebellious corner placement. Now, diving into the nitty-gritty of what makes Vivo's X series shine, the imaging system. As for the camera specs, it is quite easy to remember because all three lenses, including the ultra-wide lens, the wide-angle lens, as well as the telephoto lens, have the same megapixel, which is 50 megapixels. The front-facing camera is the only rebel in the group, holding steady at 32 megapixels. When it comes to image quality, the X100 Pro really nails it as your go-to everyday camera that slips perfectly into your pocket. The shots it captures are sharp, creating a solid contrast that's pretty impressive. There are days when I'll just leave my bulkier DSLR or mirrorless camera behind and opt for the X100 Pro, especially for those daily snapshots. It's like getting comparable results with way less gear to lug around. Of course, when I'm aiming for the absolute best image quality, my trusty camera still takes the spotlight. It's all about picking the right tool for the job. Alright, let's throw down a comparison between the X100 Pro and the iPhone 15 Pro when it comes to image quality. Starting with the main camera, it's like the X100 Pro is flexing its muscles and showing the iPhone how it's done. The sharpness is on another level, and the way it preserves details in the shadows is what sets it apart. With the X100 Pro, you can practically feel the texture in the images. Plus, when it comes to noise in the shadows, the X100 Pro is the clear winner, rocking a cleaner look thanks to its top-notch noise reduction. Shifting our focus to the ultra-wide cameras, both phones are playing in the same sharpness league. But here's where things get interesting. Noise becomes the game changer. The X100 Pro swoops in with its noise reduction magic, giving you a cleaner, polished look. Meanwhile, the iPhone? Well, let's just say it's embracing the noise, and not in a good way. It kinda gives off this dirty vibe. The iPhone seems to have a thing for overexposing, brightening up those shadows. On the flip side, the X100 Pro takes a different route, dialing down the exposure to keep those highlights in check. It's like two different dance moves on the same dance floor, each with its own style. Now, let's talk telephoto cameras. And this is where the X100 Pro steps into the spotlight and steals the show. I mean, just look at this comparison. The X100 Pro is like the superhero of telephoto prowess, leaving the iPhone in its dust. The sharpness on the X100 Pro is on a whole different level, preserving every little detail like it's on a mission. It's like comparing image quality between a smartphone and a legit mirrorless camera. Vivo really pulled off something remarkable here. And let's not forget about that optical image stabilization in the X100 Pro's telephoto lens. It's nothing short of fantastic. There have been times when my grip on the phone was less than steady, but Vivo's got my back, smoothing out my movements and delivering a photo without a hint of motion blur. Meanwhile, the iPhone? Well, let's just say my shaky hands leave a noticeable trail of blur. Now, let's set the stage for extreme low-light scenarios, where the light is playing hard to get. Brace yourself, the X100 Pro continues to impress. In this low-light face-off, both phones bring sharpness to the table, but here's where the X100 Pro takes the lead. Check out the details. Especially in spots like the car's front grille, Vivo is like the detective of shadows, elevating them to ensure no information gets lost in the dark corners. Even at the edges of the frame, you'll notice more info preserved. The X100 Pro manages to keep the noise levels in check, giving you a cleaner shot. Taking it all into account, the imaging system on the X100 Pro has taken a giant leap forward, and I'm genuinely impressed with the results I can pull from a pocket-sized powerhouse. The V3 imaging NPU inside the X100 Pro deserves a round of applause. It's got me contemplating leaving my mirrorless camera at home when I'm out capturing those everyday moments. The X100 Pro has become my go-to for spontaneity, making the whole daily snapshots game way more convenient and still delivering top-notch quality. Now, let's turn our attention to the design of the X100 Pro. Vivo dubs this color as Asteroid Black, and I've got to say, compared to those glossy finishes that turn into fingerprint magnets, this matte black vibe is a winner. It oozes a premium feel that I'm totally vibing with. At first, I thought my fingerprint worries were a thing of the past, but enter gaming mode, and the colossal camera module has other plans. Even though the back remains fingerprint-free, the camera module is a bit of a culprit. Holding the phone horizontally? Yep, you're leaving your mark, 100%. As for the big circular camera module at the back, I think it's much better than the X80 and the X90 series. And when it comes to weight and size, the X100 Pro tips the scales at around 225 grams and measures in at 8.91 millimeters thick, a bit on the chunkier side. So, on a scale from 1 to 10, what's your score for the design of the X100 Pro? Diving into the display, the X100 Pro rocks a gorgeous 6.78-inch AMOLED display boasting a crisp 2800 by 1260 resolution. The real game changer here is the LTPO technology tucked inside, allowing the phone to smoothly shift its refresh rate from a cool 1 Hz all the way up to 120 Hz. That's not just a show-off feature, it's a power move to cut down on unnecessary energy use and keep that battery life going strong. Honestly, when it comes to mobile displays these days, the bar is set pretty high, and the X100 Pro is no exception. Let's talk under the hood. The X100 Pro packs a punch with a MediaTek Dimensity 9300, flaunting a solid 16GB of RAM and a whopping 512GB of storage space. In the real world, it holds its own quite well. You can keep the 4K videos rolling for an extended period, but be cautious in warmer environments. It tends to heat up after around 42 minutes of continuous 4K recording. Just a heads up. But hey, in the grand scheme of flagship phone worries, performance isn't one of them. The X100 Pro handles gaming like a champ in my testing. No noticeable lags or dropped frames. So go ahead and dive into your favorite mobile games without breaking a sweat. The X100 Pro is ready for the gaming marathon. With such impressive performance, the X100 Pro ensures its battery keeps pace. Sporting a robust 5400 mAh battery, it's got the stamina to see you through the day. Even if you're the type to record 4K videos or dive into gaming marathons, vivo's 100-watt dual-cell flash charge has your back. In my testing, going from 10% to 80% charged took a mere 24 minutes. So, as long as you've got your charging brick and a power outlet nearby, you can kiss those battery anxiety moments goodbye. The X100 Pro has your back. And that wraps up the vivo X100 Pro journey. Overall, it's ticking the right boxes for me as a flagship phone from Vivo. It's even giving my mirrorless camera a run for its money in casual situations. One thing I'd love to see in the future is the ability to shoot in a proper log format, akin to Apple Log. That would be the cherry on top. If that dream comes true, I'd dub it the perfect flagship phone. If you like this video, don't forget to give us a thumbs up. What do you think of this phone? Let me know in the comments down below. For tech and gadgets, we got you covered, and I'll see you next time.